X is het enige chromosoom dat ieder mens heeft. X is ook het teken waarmee we vermenigvuldigen. X, de factor die niemand precies kan omschrijven. X is de oudste handtekening van de mens. En ja, het is ook een ode aan de X van Malcolm. Omroep X geeft Nederland dat extra zetje waarmee we samen kampioen worden. X komt het gelijk niet halen, maar brengen wanneer we zeggen dat diversiteit een verrijking is voor Nederland. Omroep X vermenigvuldigt door te delen. Omroep X, jezelf zien, is gezien worden. Word nu lid van Omroep X.
Ja, goedemiddag beste kijkers en of luisteraars, waar je ook ter wereld bent. Ik doe vanmiddag tussen 4 en 5 een uitzending. En omdat ik dat wel belangrijk vind om dit onderwerp even voor het voetlicht te brengen. Ik ga een uitzending maken over de fundraising events die Stichting BEULAH gaat doen. En wat Stichting BEULAH precies is, daar komt u achter in de loop van de uitzending. Het is laten we zeggen, een breed Nederlandse uitzending. Want we hebben ook mensen uit Sint-Eustatius. Weliswaar zit mijn gast niet op Sint-Eustatius op dit moment, maar hij woont er wel. Hij is toevallig in Nederland. En we hebben ook Sint Maarten. Zometeen aan iemand uit Sint Maarten in het programma. En we hebben ook mensen uit Aruba. Ik ga de gasten introduceren bij u. Allereerst is dat Kenneth Koevalee. Kenneth, goedemiddag.
Goedemiddag, brother Gilly Costa. Hoe gaat het?
Met mij gaat prima. Ik wil jou diezelfde vraag ook stellen. Hoe gaat het met jou? Je hebt een behoorlijke heftige periode achter de rug met operaties en van alles en nog wat, maar you survived. Klopt dat?
Ja, met de strength, guidance and spirit of our ancestors and that of our creator, I'm a blessed man here today.
En jij bent, I think you're blessed anyway, you know what I'm saying. Ik ben echt blij dat je ons gaat inlichten over wat de Stichting BEULAH precies inhoudt en wat jullie gaan doen. Maar voordat we daarmee aan de slag gaan, breng ik ook Denisio Bryson in de stream. En Denisio Bryson, jij zit wel op Sint Maarten? Denisio?
Yes.
Ja, je bent op Sint Maarten. Op dit moment...
yes, I'm on St. Martin.
Ja, oké, there you are. Nu zie ik je bewegen, want net zag ik je niet bewegen. En het is voor jou, is het morgen, hè? Het is ochtend.
Yes, it's 10 o'clock in the morning on St. Martin and on Statia.
Yeah, and on Statia, yes, because you're neighbors. Should we speak English for you, or can I keep it in Dutch, or do we speak?
Yeah,
English?
you can keep it in Dutch.
Okay.
I'll respond in English, but you can rock and roll in Dutch.
Ja, want Sint Maarten is formeel echt nog wel een stukje Nederland, toch?
No, it's not.
It's not? I always thought it was.
No, we are an autonomous part of the kingdom, and we have officially anchored in the constitution 2 official languages, English and Dutch. But 99% of the population does not speak Dutch, the same as on Statia.
Okay. You see, I've been to Curaçao, and that's the only Antilles I've been to so far. And I would love to come and visit you in St. Martin, but I guess there's a lot I still have to learn there. What's the situation in Statia, Kenneth?
Well, the situation in Statia is that we are trying to come back from a colonial overthrow of our local democratically elected government in 2018. We are dominated by colonial laws. The Dutch is actually with the continuation of the transatlantic, enslavement of our people and the impoverishment of our people in the region. They are really only went from bad to worse. And there's a need for education among our community in relation to their history, their
Mm-hmm.
heritage, etc. And until we eradicate our mental fear that we cannot actually live and survive without the Dutch, a handout, we will always be in this predicament. So prices are up, people are more impoverished. Most people have to have 2 to 3 jobs just to survive. And that is basically, in a nutshell, the situation. And I believe the same is on St. Martin because I used to live and work in St. Martin, and I visit St. Martin. Let me put it this way: I cannot reach Statia before reaching St. Martin. So if I
Uh-huh.
leave the Netherlands and I need to go to Statia, the first stop would be St. Martin, and I will decide to stay there, whether it's a month, 2 days, or whatever, before I continue to Statia. So
Okay.
that's it in a nutshell. And by the way, I am the president of the St. Eustatius African Burial Ground Alliance and that of the Monuments Foundation on the island of St. Eustatius as well.
Yeah, well, that's it's good to know, and we are still waiting on Giselle, and Giselle is in Aruba, and I see she just informed me that she's trying to log in using her laptop because there were some problems with her phone. Well, we wait for her, but while we wait for her, maybe the two of you can inform me about the events, the coming up events of the Stichting BEULAH. Do I pronounce the name right when I say BEULAH?
Yeah, to me, well,
Yes,
yeah.
you do. Could I ask you a question? Is
Of
there
course.
any way for you to increase the volume on the podcast?
Well, to be honest with you, your volume is quite well, but if you have to increase the volume, you're going to have to do it on your phone or your device. The best thing to do would be to use ears like this, like mine. You see, if you use the earphones, then the volume will help you quite a lot. I thought
Okay.
yeah.
If I hold the phone close like I'm doing right now, I have absolutely no problem hearing you.
Oh, okay. Then we're going to have to do it like that. And when you speak, you can, you
I
can
can
sort
take a
of,
distance.
yes, then you can take a distance. But we hear you pretty well. I don't know in your case, Kenneth.
I'm hearing everybody clearly, but Brother Bryson, you can do one of the two things. You can either raise the volume on your phone to the maximum.
I did that.
Okay, then you don't have no earphones. You can plug into your phone and put them in your ear. Then you will hear more optimal.
Okay. I will have to go and look for them someplace. But
Yeah, that
in the
that would
meantime,
help.
if I hold the phone close, I can hear you very clearly.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
then for the moment we do it like that, and we'll take it from that. So from now on, we use English as a communication language. So everybody is happy with that, and we'll take it from there. So tell me,
No, but you can go ahead and use Dutch anytime you please.
okay,
Myself and Mr. Kuvale, we are well versed in Dutch. We understand it perfectly.
yeah, okay. Then we'll switch up and down, and we'll see where it takes us.
Yeah,
It's
you
not,
can switch as you choose.
yeah, it's not the
But your
language.
English is excellent. I
Oh
must
well.
compliment you on that.
Oh, cuando necesario yo puedo hablar español también, ¿no?
Bueno, usted es caribeño, pues, ya sabes.
Ja, claro. Anyway, oké, dan voor mij is toch Nederlands het gemakkelijkste. Kunnen jullie me vertellen wat de stichting BEULAH nou precies is?
Maybe I could answer you a little bit on that, but I would prefer to wait for Giselle to come on and explain that herself. She is busy logging on right now.
Yeah, I see that she's doing that.
What I can do, I could probably explain you a little bit about Prosvaliga does.
About, just do that because I don't know what that is at all.
Prosvaliga is a foundation on St. Martin that is designed or was founded to decolonize the islands. One of the things we have taken to heart is the situation on Statia. The people on Statia might not be aware of it, but we are busy on the track forcing the Dutch state to retract the tijdelijke wet where they remove the local government because it is totally illegal. We are striving to have that reversed legally, plus an official apology to the people of Statia, plus to pay them damages for violating their right to self-determination. That is what Plus for Liga is working on Statia. As we speak, they might not be aware of it, but we are aware that their rights are violated. It's kind of complicated because it's a legal matter, but we have it under the gun. Our objective is to have the Dutch state remove its presence on St. Eustatius, apologize to the people of St. Eustatius, and pay them damages for violating their right to self-determination.
Yeah.
In general, on St. Martin, we are what we call an emancipatory foundation. Stichting Beulah is our sister organization in Aruba. And on Curaçao, we have a foundation called Fundación Curaçao na Camina per Libertad. Curaçao on the way to liberty. We are all striving to end the last vestiges of Dutch colonialism on the islands. And one of what is going to be the final result when we have finished our job, you will have a totally restructured kingdom with 3 countries, Aruba, St. Martin, Curaçao, that are going to be quasi-sovereign according to the rules of the right of self-determination. And you're going to have a totally re-engineered kingdom. That is what we are working on.
Okay, and how do you see that in front of you? Let's say Holland says tomorrow, I apologize and I take myself away from the governing of your territory. How will you? I don't want to say survive, but how do you see the future of this new kingdom?
Oh, it will be beautiful. It will be structured along the lines of the European Union, where you have Holland, Italy, Spain, France. They are all part of the European Union, but none of them tries to impose their will on each other. So France does not try to impose its will in Holland. Holland does not try to impose its will in Italy, but they are still part of the same union. That is what our goal is for the kingdom.
Yeah, but then again, the nations you just mentioned, they have a very well organized economic infrastructure. Can we say the same thing on the islands?
Of course, and the proof is this: we have been surviving since the 18th century, and since 1955, after Head Statute, we have been surviving. We have not starved, we have not died of hunger. We will continue doing the things that we have always done to survive. As a matter of fact, Statia and St. Martin, even though they are very small, their economies are so attractive that on St. Martin, almost more than half of the population are immigrants who come to St. Martin to find a better living. Statia is a very small island, and Statia has the same phenomenon. Mr. Kuvale can attest to that, where many foreigners go to Statia to look for a living on Statia. So we have the means to survive. We are very attractive to foreigners.
Yeah, but okay, but is that enough to build a complete nation on? I mean,
more than enough.
Yeah, but can you give me some examples of how you see this? This economy built up?
Well, right now on St. Martin, we have a tourism-based economy. For the foreseeable future, we are going to have to continue with that because that is what we have. What that economy has done, it has made St. Martin into such an attractive investment island that there are over 150 different nationalities living on St. Martin, giving St. Martin a vote of confidence in their economic capacity of managing and building an economy. There are over 150 nationalities living on St. Martin. Yeah. A tiny island.
Yeah, well, this is, Well,
So that is a ringing endorsement. Why would they come here? 150 different nationalities.
That's quite a lot. That's quite a lot.
Yeah. On St. Martin, about 80% of the population were not born on St. Martin, and they came here to look for their livelihood.
Yeah. Am I correct if I say that what you're trying to achieve is a complete independence from Holland?
No. What we are trying to achieve is to have the kingdom live up to international standards. The international standards are that these islands should have what is called a full measure of self-government. If you have a full measure of self-government, there can be no place for the Dutch government to operate. You cannot have a full measure of self-government plus somebody else interfering. That is not a full measure of self-government.
Okay, and when you say a kingdom, who is going to be the king?
Excuse me?
If you say you want a kingdom, then my question is, who's going to be the king or the queen?
The same king. All we are doing is we are leaving the kingdom intact. All we are doing is bringing it up to standard to comply with international law. Because the kingdom has never complied with international law as far as these islands are concerned. That is why you have that misadventure in Statia. The kingdom does not realize that it does not have the right to impose anything on Statia. Because Statia have what we call the right to self-determination. And the right to self-determination is a so-called Uskogens norm. It is onaantastbaar.
Yeah. Excuse me. I see some technical things happening on my screen, and I'm trying to get Giselle into the broadcast, and I don't know if Giselle can hear me because I don't get the connection fully working. So I'm asking Giselle, kan jij mij horen? No, obviously not.
It's still loading.
She called me a while ago on the phone and spoke to me. It seems that she's having some kind of technical difficulties.
Exactly, and this is beyond my capacity to.
Oh, and that's a pity because she is the key person in this whole affair.
Yeah. So Giselle, I don't know if you can hear us, but if you hear us, please log in with another device because this is not working. I'm sorry to say that.
Because she's still loading.
No, but it should have been there. It should have been there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It should. But this is not. If this is the loading time, then it's not going to work in the broadcast.
It depends how she chooses to log in because I have to be careful just now with logging in as well.
Okay.
She have to click on the link in if she send it to her PC. And from there on, she'll have to actually click on join and leave the
I know. She knows the procedure because we did this program before and then it worked perfectly fine. But I don't know. Anyway, let us continue with the conversation. And then we'll see what we'll see what Giselle does. She just left the backstage room, so so we'll see what happens there. Kenneth, we just heard Denisio Bryson on his plans for the near future. What he wants with his beloved St. Martin. What is it you want? What is it you want for Statia?
Well, I don't know if you know how the St. Eustatius African Burial Ground came to existence. Maybe I should say that in a nutshell. We started our struggle and our fight against the industry of archaeology in 2021, whereof our ancestors' remains have been undignified, removed from their resting place, moved to other parts of the country like the Cambridge University, the Leicester University, the Maryland University, and the Texas University. This is an industry of itself, and these removal is actually been taking place for the longest of time on our island without any consultation with the African community on the island. And as such, we started an offense to stop the excavation that has been brought to an halt. And right now, we are looking at certain protective legislation in order to protect our African heritage and cultural heritage in general. But I think one overlooked the industry of archaeology from a colonial point of view. Is very little speak about in the region. It's very little insight to what that constitutes. And so that's an industry of itself. Most of these universities and scholars will promote themselves and have funding from big corporations, promote their books, etc., without any form of consultation of the African community, and our artifacts has been stored in for centuries as well. But to answer your question, what we want for Stacey, I do agree with most of what Brother Bryson has explained. But I think one of the thing, if you look at the European context of a European Union, even within the European Union, we are still people of African descent being marginalized. Look at the second-class citizens and how actually not being able to obtain or acquire the same equal rights. So I always say, equality is a human right, not a privilege. And so I heard Brother Bryson speak about decolonization. The question is, which we need to ask, in how far do the white establishment power structures are prepared to decolonize themselves? Because unless they decolonize themselves and unless we have more ownership to the economical infrastructure of these countries, you mentioned tourism, yes, well, all good and well. A lot of people come to our islands, but yet what we are seeing is most of the economical infrastructure, we have no ownership to it. And that is part of a liberating yourself as well. And I think we need to look at those elements more carefully in what direction we go, whether it's within the European Union, because we are still in the structure and the belly of the monster of colonialism, which
Yes.
continues to exist. So these are very important questions I need to emphasize on.
Yeah, I think you touched, what can I say, a very serious point there, because we are still suffering from the aftermath of colonialism. I mean, Suriname, where I'm from, is been, ik denk dat we, hoe lang zijn we nou onafhankelijk? Al een paar decennia zijn we onafhankelijk. Maar zijn we echt onafhankelijk? Weet je wat ik bedoel? Could we survive on what we have? And we have a lot of resources in Suriname. We have oil, we have gold, we have wood, we have a lot of stuff. And even then, you see that the monster of colonialism destroyed our self-esteem as so far that it is a hell of a job to exist in modern days as a nation. And so this with this experience in the back of my head, I'm thinking, places like St. Martin, Statia, are a lot smaller than Suriname and other countries that became independent after colonialism, and they have problems with trying to survive. And now I'm not promoting, let's say, that we should all stay in this situation under the parapluie of the Dutch. But my advice is to make sure you make pretty good deals before you go for this independence thing. You know what I mean? Or this
full measure of self-government.
Yeah.
What did you say, Denisio? Excuse me.
what we are talking about, what we are striving for is the full measure of self-government that all colonial territories are entitled to under Article 73 of the Charter of the United Nations, which Holland signed on to.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, but you know how things are, you know what I mean? Let's say a stronger power will never do a concession to a power which is not as powerful as they are, unless they are forced to do that.
Well, you are absolutely correct in that case, because there are only three things that powerful countries respect: military power,
Exactly.
economic power, and law.
Yeah.
We do not have economic power, we do not have military power, but we can use the law, because that is one of the instruments that they respect.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I you know, this conversation is going in a different direction than I had actually planned, because of the.
Yeah, because I believe Beulah is not there.
Exactly. And it's a pity that Giselle doesn't seem to be able to log into the program, because I wanted to talk.
What I would like to suggest is maybe we suspend the meeting for a while to give her a chance to get on, because it really doesn't make much sense to continue this meeting without her being present. Exactly. I would suggest we take a break for a half an hour and try to see if she can get her business sorted out.
Okay, so I will do that just now. En ik ga dus even aan de kijkers van dit moment vragen om ons de gelegenheid te geven om de boel ja, toch technisch in orde te maken. Want ik weet niet precies wat de problemen zijn die Giselle op dit moment ondervindt. Waardoor we eigenlijk niet toekomen aan het onderwerp waarvoor we deze meeting begonnen zijn. Ik probeer het is nu 4:30. En ik probeer om 5:00 nog een keer de live op te starten. En dan te komen tot de informatie die we nodig hebben over de fundraising events van Stichting BEULAH.
So that is in the next half an hour.
That's in the next half an hour. And if it doesn't work within the next half an hour, then we should postpone it until maybe tomorrow. You know?
Okay, good. What I will do in the meantime, I will call Giselle and see what is going on with her.
Yeah, and you should also fix the volume problems. So
yeah, I would see, because my volume was good until I got a phone call from her, and after that the volume dropped.
Oh, okay. Well, try to get some headphones, and that will solve a lot of problems. So I'll see
good. You. But I'm hearing you perfectly.
I know, but you know, it would be more relaxed for you if you could sit in the position.
Yeah, for the earphones. Okay, yeah. We'll take a break now and then we'll get back to it. Okay, in a half an hour.
Ja, in half an hour. Nogmaals, kijkers, log om 5:00 nog een keertje in om het gesprek over de fundraising events te volgen.
Ja.
Tot dan. Tot zo.
All right.
We log in with the same link just now again, Billy?
No, I will send you a new link. I will
send it to my email, please.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
hotmail.com.
Yeah. I know.
Okay, if you have a new link, send it to the chat group so I can see it.
Exactly, I will do that.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Send mine to my email, please.
Yeah. I heard you, Kenneth. So I'll see you guys in half an hour.
Okay, cool.
Okay, bye.